Good day, everybody. We are back again with another episode of Charm City Classroom. I am meteorologist Patrick Pete, but you can call me Professor Pete for the day. Actually, bringing to you a very interesting topic, weather-wise, something that a lot of folks are going to be looking forward to making plans to do. It's going to affect you, at least if you're making plans to do that, and that is going to be going to the beach. There is a phenomenon called sea breeze that is very easy to explain, and it's going to answer some questions as to why sometimes it's a beautiful sunny day on the beach, and then an hour or so later, there's a couple of thunderstorms that roll through, 15 minutes here or there, and then leave. That's easy to explain. So let's go ahead and take this full screen, talking about the temperature over land and the temperature of water. Believe it or not, it actually starts off about the same every day. Near 79, 78, depends on where you are, but those numbers are normally very close at the beginning of the day. What happens is we start to see some heating, and as that heating happens, the land will warm up quicker than the water. There's a very easy scientific reason, and that's because the specific heat of water is greater than the specific heat of land. So it takes longer to heat and cool. So land warms up, gets up to 90 degrees, but the water is still near 80. So there's a temperature difference there. And normally, whenever there's a temperature difference, just on a side note, depending on how great that is, there's normally a pressure difference. That's going to become important as we get further on in this process. But whenever you have land being heated by these sun rays, eventually that air will start to rise. And we've had this conversation with you all about warm air rising. What happens? It condenses, it cools, and that's whenever you start to get cloud development. And whenever you have summer rays heating up a surface, and it's going to continue to grow and grow. That's how you get these thunderstorms to essentially develop here. So that's exactly what's happening. You combine that with the fact that there is high pressure that is forming over the ocean because the air is sinking, because that's what happens to cool air. It sinks. And then warm air rises. That kind of leaves a lull at the surface. So low pressure develops there. Now, something that happens with high pressure and low pressure, air always flows, or essentially wind, from high pressure to low pressure. So that's why when you're on the beach on a nice sunny day, you actually feel it getting a bit breezy out there. And that's because the wind is blowing from high pressure to low pressure. But in addition to that, you're getting that development, that vertical development of these clouds that eventually leads to some thunderstorms. And as that happens, you start to see the clouds, and then you start to get some rain, and then eventually you get some lightning. So not a scene that you want to be on. We did this lesson with you on lightning. You never want to be outside in open spaces, flat spaces when it's lightning. So that's sea breeze essentially explained, and that's why, especially for a lot of coastal cities, some of our viewers that are near the coast, you'll wonder why whenever we're talking about summer weather, sometimes you'll have that rain chance and no one else will. And that's going to be because it isn't a system that's coming through from the west like what we're seeing right now, but it's more so the actual interaction. It's we actually call it micro scale. It's a small scale, a local environment. That's exactly what's happening there. So that's been our lesson on Sea Breeze for today. Of course, you guys can always drop comments, ask questions. If you have anything that you want us to cover, you can list it and we'll actually get to that. We're going to have another lesson coming out next week for you. Chief Meteorologist Lynn Charles will be discussing a new topic for you. Until then, I will see you all on the airwaves. Make it a good day.